Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's podcast. We are doing a performing arts series, specifically in improv comedy. I have with me today some great guests who are going to be performing in the first show coming this Friday. I want to introduce everybody, but then have you say a little bit about yourself. So I just want everybody to see who we're here with. Obviously, you all know me. My name's Jon Artigo. I come from my mother. So I'm going to throw it over to Steve. Can you introduce yourself, please, and say
Sure.
hello?
My name is Steve Cobb. Hello, everybody. I'm excited to be here, and originally from Wisconsin, but now live right here in Bonita Springs, and excited to perform with everybody this week.
Yeah, cool. All right, Bill.
Bill Owens, here to say hello. I was born and raised in upstate New York. Glad I'm not in that tundra anymore. Been here a long time, since 1997, and I'm so glad to be with everyone right here with me today.
Wow, 1997. What is black and white TV like?
You know, it was kind of white and black all at the same time.
I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense. Okay, Miranda.
Hi, I'm Miranda Silano. I've lived in Bonita Springs on and off for about 15-ish years. And I'm very excited to be doing improv here. I used to do shows here when I was in high school, so it's really nice to come full circle and to be back with some familiar faces and new faces.
Awesome. So we are obviously getting ready for our first show, which is going to be on March 7th, coming up on Friday, March 7th at 7:30 p.m.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. We'll be talking about it all the time. But I want to go back. I want to go back to when you first started having that itch for improv. So it'll just go around. We'll just kind of go this way. We'll keep things in order. So we'll start with you. When did you first get the itch? Not the jock itch, but like the itch for doing improv.
Oh, thank goodness. I was kind of afraid to answer the first one.
I didn't want to go with that story. I figured it'd be best to leave that out.
It is. It's always best. I started doing improv, right here, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
So at the Center for the Arts in Bonita Springs, I started taking some classes, and then eventually began performing. And then pretty soon, not too long after that, began running the troupe and doing improv and doing classes here. And after that time, traveled throughout the state of Florida doing festivals of improv, toured with my good friend Bill and our teenage daughters in a unique musical improv group, kind of special to perform with our daughters on stage. And then we toured all around, and here I am again, back at Center for the Arts in Bonita Springs.
Well, when I first met you, Steve, it was like, oh yeah, Steve does the improv class. I'm like, well, that's cool. I want to find out. I want to meet this guy because, you know, I'm into this stuff, and I want to, you know, I first started the job here back in August, and I walked in and I was like, yeah, I'm like, you do improv? He's like, I have a background check. And I was like, what?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. He's like, I have a background check. I was like, I didn't bring any police, Steve. Everything's okay. Yep. I just was coming to check in with you. But yeah, it was great. I was so happy that there was a scene here, you know, and I didn't know to what level. And certainly there's things that I've seen where I've been like, awesome. And then there's other things I've seen in the scene that I'm like, that could use some work. And that's more community wide.
And we kind of fanboyed or fan-manned. We kind of fanboyed out about, you know, improv people we knew and places we'd performed and people we knew and where we trained. And we got real geeky and deep with it. And
we did.
It is true about the background check. I only thought because as a teacher you had to have it, and I had to have it for the Arts Center. But no other reason.
It was just funny. It was just funny.
Yeah. Always like to introduce people with that, you know.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm fully vetted.
Yeah. Weird thing, like, though, when you're at a bar, if you're trying to pick up on somebody.
Yeah, it doesn't work good there. It's kind of a kill zone. So
it's like, hi, my name's Linda. It's like, hey, I have a background check.
Yeah. I'm not on any registered lists of any kind, and
no. That's so, it. You are on our payroll, though.
And Jon, I was excited when we started talking about it that you were into improv and that you were excited to get it up and running again. At the time, I had been teaching some classes, and I love to teach, but also love to perform. And when you got excited about it, I got excited, and here we are about to pull off this miraculous show.
Yeah.
7:30 at when?
7:30. At 7:30.
Yes.
On March 7th.
Okay.
AM or PM?
You can pick. You know, you can whatever depends on the type of show you want to see.
I mean, there could be a line that you may want to get here kind of early.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can get your tickets early on artsbonita.org. So that's always a good thing.
Yeah, we'll put the website in the description.
And
Anyway.
keep in mind, too, that this is often a concern here is we are in the Moe Auditorium for the show.
Yes.
That is the building behind the big building on Bonita Beach Road, which is the Hinman. We are in the smaller black box theater, the Moe Film and Theater Center in the back building. So that's where we'll be. So if you come into the front building, we won't be there.
There will be a different show happening, which you should also definitely have tickets for as well. But if that's sold out, come see our show.
Yeah. Or just come see our show.
Yeah. Bill.
John.
Yes, please say hello. Introduce yourself.
I'm Bill Owens. Again, I'm from upstate New York. And to answer your question, John,
Wait, sorry.
I have a.
Did we already do that?
I think we did.
That's all right.
I take orders well.
Oh my gosh. So I like to ask people sometimes like what their name is because sometimes they lie to me the first time. You weren't lying to me. That's really your name.
Yeah, John Cohen. Yeah.
Okay, good. Just make
So,
okay, go ahead.
To answer your question, I have this great antibiotic cream that does wonders. I mean, it really
No.
helps.
Remember, I changed it.
Yeah.
It's not about jock itch. It's when you got the itch for improv comedy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
But let us know later on that, Craig.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Yeah.
Please, yeah.
Anyway, so Steve alluded to this already. So my day job is I'm a lawyer, and my daughter who
Insert lawyer joke here.
go ahead.
Okay. I don't have one.
Okay, good.
Well,
I've never heard one.
101 bartenders. Well, anyway, come see the show, and then you might see us play that game, and
Sure.
maybe lawyer will be one of them.
And my daughter, who was doing improv already here at Arts Bonita, taking a wonderful class that they offer all the time. I recommend everyone sign up. And she said, Dad, you need to get out of your comfort zone a little bit. You're a little bit, serious. You need to be a little bit looser, a little bit more, fun around the edges. So I said, okay, Maddie. And she convinced me to take a class here at Arts Bonita. And through that process, got to know Steve a lot better. And fast forward, I was able to join some performances. And as Steve mentioned, one of the highlights of my improv journey has been being able to perform with my daughter, Madison Owens. And it's been a great experience from start to hopefully never finish.
Yes, I did get the pleasure of meeting your daughter and doing some performing with her in practice, on that one day. And I was like, why do you have to go away to college? Because this Friday, we could really use her.
Absolutely.
And you went and saw her over the weekend, didn't you?
I did.
And then you didn't bring her back with you?
I tried, but something about school kind of kept her grounded in Gainesville. So
Still, I think you could have tried.
Go Gators.
You could have gone and talked to the teacher and said, I need to take my daughter home because I'm feeling sick and I need her help.
I know, we do.
And then she could have done the show, and then she could have gone back and made up that work. She's super smart. I know it. Don't even know her very well, but I know that's the case. She could have missed a week and still gone back and not miss a beat.
Something to keep in mind for the next show if she wants to
And
kidnap or come back,
note to self, do not ever let my daughter talk to John about school. Thank you, John.
Yeah, you got it. Miranda, how about for you? When did you start getting into improv?
I guess I was first introduced to improv also here at Arts Bonita because I was friends with Steve and Bill's daughters, Cam and Maddie, and I was not involved in the improv classes, but we did musical theater together. So we were in shows together and they all did improv, and I would just come and see it, and I always really enjoyed watching it, but I never considered myself necessarily on the stage doing it. Maybe I didn't think I was that funny, or those high school insecurities kind of getting to you. And then fast forward to being fooled into doing a master's degree during COVID and doing community theater in Alabama. And somebody approached me that I had done a show with and said, hey, we'd really love to see you just come to an improv practice. We're starting this new troupe here. There hasn't been one, and we'd really love to get you involved. And I did, and I ended up being hilarious, and they decided to keep me. So I was a founding member of Tom's Foolery in Alabama, and they still perform throughout the state there today. And then I moved back to Florida for my job. My day job is as a geologist. I don't know if there are any good jokes about that.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, we can coordinate and come up with some. It might be
Yeah.
hard.
Get a lot of rocks, like if there's something about rocks, or that tends to be one. But
How about a lawyer joke that does rock law?
environmental law could be
That was on the Flintstones, wasn't
think
it?
so.
Wasn't there a rock lawyer on the Flintstones?
I don't know. I would have to ask my mother. I don't
Oh,
know
that's
why She
right.
would know.
Another old person joke for us.
Yes. Sorry, Mom.
so I was back here, and I still follow Steve on Facebook, and I saw an announcement looking for performers, so I reached out and I was like, hey, I have this experience now, and I always really enjoyed working with y'all, and was very glad to be invited to come. And
We would like to invite you to be glad
Yeah, always.
to be
you should
here.
be glad.
Yes.
You should
Yeah, I
be glad
hope
to be
she's happy to be
We
here.
are glad you're here.
here. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's been a lot of fun.
Cool. Okay, well, good. So we all came together and we're like, cool, let's do this. And we did auditions, and then we found some people, and it's hard to find the right people. And so we, picked some people that we thought, hey, they're showing potential. They're showing the ability to listen, which is really important in improv. And so, we've kind of decided to go forward with the show and to be working with performers who are very new to improv. So my question to you all, and you don't all have to answer it, but I'm just going to throw it out to you, is what is it like? What's the difference between working with people who they've been doing improv forever versus people who are just new to it? And what's that blend like, and how people grow to, get that experience?
I can say for me, I've performed with Bill for, long time in various formats, and there's an easiness to that. There's a sensibility that we can recognize in each other, almost a predictability, but sometimes it's fun with newer players, and especially with less experience, to play with them because it's improv, right? Everything is made up kind of as you go. So where Bill and I have played together enough, have some kind of quirks that we know of each other. With the new people, it's fresh and exciting, and that can make it a little bit different. It's a challenge, but a good challenge, a fun challenge. So I like a mix of both. I like the stuff you can kind of fall back on, but also the time to experience something new and to just go out and have fun and play.
Yeah, I was going to say too, it's not so much about the talent level and the specific experience of doing improv. It really is about familiarity. It's about knowing the people you're performing with. That's like the most important thing. I know what you're good at. I know where your happy place is. I know how to set you up for delivering on where you can kill it, and then when you know that about people, you know what to do, and they know the same thing about you. That's really the only hard thing about performing with people who are new. I personally don't feel it's that different from performing with really experienced, talented people versus people who are new to it. As a matter of fact, I think it's a little bit easier to perform with people who are new and open. Then sometimes people are very rules-based, and then you kind of get this rigid kind of feeling. I've always been more open. I think I'm way more like, I enjoy working with people who are new to things. And I did it even when, as a film director, I always would cast actors who had never done film before, because I liked the idea of helping them transition from theater to the screen, help them to do a little less, Then I'm at, rehearsal today trying to get them to do more, be louder, speak loud, speak to me way in the back. And then when I'm making movies, I'm like, you got to talk quiet like this. So anyway, what are your thoughts?
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. What was the question? No, I think I
Yeah,
remember
I think you
this.
do remember.
I do. So
It's about the lotion again.
yes. I have that written down for you.
Okay, good.
A variation, I think, of what we've already heard. I actually love playing with players of all different experiences and levels, and playing with people that have just started or are pretty recent to improv. I think it kind of underscores the basics and how important they are to improv. So, I think people that are new to improv, they're really focusing on the yes and. They're focusing on, painting the scene, doing physical things, doing, trying to bring emotion to the scene. And that's so important. And sometimes, the more you do improv, you maybe have a tendency, or at least I'll pick on myself, I have a tendency to kind of maybe forget some of the true core foundation of what makes improv so fun and so interesting and so hopefully pleasing to the audience, is some of those core kind of foundational aspects that I think new players are just learning, they're reinforcing, and I think it can reinforce it for any player at any level.
Cool. Good. How about you?
Yeah, I think to kind of echo chamber a little bit, something that's really fun for both older and newer players is that there's always opportunity to grow. And you do see that a little bit more with people who are brand new and they're learning everything for the new time, because at first you're focused on the rules and you're focused on, okay, I need to make sure that I'm rhyming every time. But then as you practice more, and that's the beauty of improv, is it's a different type of practice than doing a stage show, you kind of get more comfortable, and it's really nice to see that change. And especially a lot of the newer players who don't have a lot of experience. But even for myself, like, there are games that I have not played before, and it's rewarding to see myself and everybody else grow as a team, and also as we get more comfortable with each other, because it really does add, when you're familiar with your teammates and also understanding everybody's humor and what they're good at, you can set somebody up to succeed in that way. If I know somebody is really good with physical comedy, I might try and set them up for something like that, and it's really nice to learn and to be comfortable with that over time.
And Miranda, that's what I love about you as a player. You're really good at setting people up and making them look good. And I think when I watch you do improv, I think you're so much better because you make people look better. And that's a unique talent and gift that you have, and that's beautiful. Don't ever let that go away. That's one of the things I admire the most about you, is watching you set people up to just kill it out there. And that gives you joy, and that gives me joy watching that.
Yeah, thank you.
Air hug.
Yeah.
Air hug.
Yeah.
So, Miranda, you also audition for other things. You do musical theater and stuff like that. So how has improv for you, as someone who's wanted to do more performing, been helpful to you in either getting roles or just, I don't know, being more comfortable on stage? Like, how has it helped you?
I think it helps in the most practical sense is when I or somebody else forgets a line. Improv is very, very good for that, because because that does happen, or people miss cues. Or I was just in a production of The Sound of Music, and the sound cue for the song came on late, and the person had already started singing, and you have to be able to think quickly, like, okay, what do I do? And doing improv has really helped me with that. Like, I don't freak out when those things happen on stage anymore. Maybe when I was doing shows and I might forget, or somebody messes up a line, and you're frozen on stage, and you have all these people watching you. But now I don't feel like I have as much of that problem, because it like kicks into second gear. It's like, thinking of fundamentals of improv, like how do you keep the scene going, but also being able to be quick on my feet. And it helps a lot too, because at auditions, sometimes you're just thrown things to read, or you're just thrown music to sing. And while, you don't have the time to prepare like you would, most auditions you go and you sing a couple bars of a song that you prepared, or a monologue, but sometimes they want to hear you read something different. Or if it's, for example, a new show where you don't have anything to go off of, you can kind of take in those skills of improv and toss them in there a little bit, like ad-libbing, or finding ways to bring something to like that directors really like. And it also, I think improv, I feel like everybody here could probably attest to this too, is the confidence. Like, you do build a lot of confidence doing that, and it shows in auditions, and it shows in shows. And you also have to have good stage presence, because you don't have lines to fall back to, or you don't have a huge overarching story or hours of a show. If something goes wrong, you have to be able to think of it like that, like really quickly. And I think that that's a really good skill that I've taken from improv to bring into other areas of theater in my life as well.
What about for you, Bill? Do you have any, like, in your job that you have found improv to be?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, I'm really hoping this year I'm going to pass the bar exam. But, until I do, improv has really helped me just pretend to be a lawyer. And, so far so good. I've been doing it for quite a long time. So
You know what they say, 402nd time is the charm.
It is. So, one of these days I probably don't have to make things up during the day, but I'm really hopeful that, improv is always going to have my back on that. So, but if we want to be a little serious,
we do. We like to mix that in.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
good. So I got nothing then, but no. I really have found, my daughter had it right. I think it's important not to take yourself seriously all the time. I do take myself very seriously during the day, but I think improv in a lot of ways is therapeutic, at least to me. I'm a person that's so focused on what I'm doing, in my day job and really, 100%, nothing else kind of I'm thinking about. And then usually that carries over after work and you're thinking about, oh, geez, maybe I need to work on this tomorrow morning, so I'm set up for my Wednesday meeting and things like that. And the great thing about improv is when you're in a scene, all you're focused on is that scene and your other players, and all you're thinking about is how can I support my players and how can I add and help this scene. And guess what? You don't have time to think about the stresses of everyday life or what you're doing in your job. And so in a lot of ways, to me, it's really therapeutic in that sense, where it really helps you kind of clear your mind and at least for a moment, push a lot of the day in life stresses to the side.
Cool. By the way, when you're looking up there and you see the monitor up at the top, you should see the people who are talking. So if the camera's like on me, but like Miranda's talking and you don't tell me to like switch the button here, that's your fault.
Okay.
Just want you to know, because I can't do everything and I'm having to. It's very hard.
Is this in our podcast, by the way?
Yes, it is. And I don't know if it happened, by the way, but it might have, because it's very hard to do these.
Like
anyway,
right now?
Yeah. See? Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you, Miranda. Like,
what if we go back and forth real quick?
Yeah. No. It's fine. You got to balance it out. If it's
Okay.
on other people and it's not on the people talking, then you have to like give the other people time when they're doing nothing on camera while you're listening to the other people. It's only fair. So what about for you?
Yeah, so they stole all my answers. But I will say that improv is a life skill. It's a sales technique. It's how to deal with Alzheimer's patients. It's how it can be applied to a lot of things, not just going up on stage and making jokes and having fun and playing, but it's more of a philosophy. It's something that you can use in your daily job or in giving focus or trying to close a sale or trying to deal with people or communicate with people. And there's a beautiness to it. I teach kids improv as well as adults. By the way, classes are available here at the Center for the Arts.
True, they are happening right now.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. So you can sign.
Depending on when you're listening to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, during the week, but
Yeah, not necessarily at 1:30 a.m. for you right now while you're watching this.
yeah, eating a whole bag of chips.
Whoever you are, I don't know you, but you could be just sitting there at 1:30 a.m. But anyway,
Sure. But yeah, take a class, and they are available on our website, which will come up at the end. But I've learned a lot with the kids because they don't have the same rules to improv. They're not cynical like adults are. They're not closed off. They come up with some really brilliant stuff because it's just pure and natural with some of the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And that brings me a lot of joy in seeing that. And I hope I can bring some of that to when I perform, because as adults, we're a little bit more cynical, a little bit more guarded, a little bit more closed off.
Mm-hmm.
We have certain preconceptions about things based on our experience in our life. And kids are just kind of running at it full steam ahead and jumping right in. And there's a freshness to that. So I think there's a lot to be learned from the kids that are doing it as well. What about you, though? Nobody's asking you any questions.
I don't usually ask myself questions. But
Go ahead and ask yourself.
no, I'll just go off of the previous question.
Okay.
Yeah, improv. Like I'm always, whenever my wife's like the big planner, and I'm like I you know, whatever it is, that people be like, oh, you should do something, you know, like write up like a little speech. I'm like, I don't really do that. You know, I just kind of go, just give me I just need a sense of where to go. That doesn't mean it's perfect every time. I definitely get myself into trouble when I'm doing that, but that's just how I'm way more comfortable just winging it in many scenarios. So I don't know, you know, I think improv helps you with communication. I think improv helps you with connection. Obviously, improv helps you with listening skills. Like every skill that you could build in improv to be a good improviser, to be a good teammate, they're all things that you could use in life, in your family, in your job, in your community. They're important, which is why, like, I think it's weird when sometimes there can be really weird, competitive, negative energy around improv, and I don't understand it. It is something that is meant to be enjoyed, even in Chicago, in Los Angeles. It was always about the people who do improv are a community. We work with each other, we collaborate with each other. There's no like, but yet it gets really like elitist at times, and some people feel like they're performing, so they feel like they're special and they feel like they have power. And I just feel like, no, that's not at all how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be, let's have fun. Let's get together. Let's grow. Let's give you an opportunity that maybe you wouldn't have somewhere else to connect to this, you know, this discipline of improv. So I just think it's always interesting coming into a new community, trying to figure it all out. But yeah, I think one thing I want to do before it goes, I think we just have to play one improv game.
Oh, okay.
And I think anytime we get together for a podcast, we got to at least play one game. So what do we want to do? It has to be something that's not very physical.
How about like a 40-minute scene?
Oh, like a
narrative
long form?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Like our town, a reimagining of our town.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. That'd be good.
No,
but no,
probably
let's not do
probably
that.
Not,
yeah, let's not do that.
No.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what's an example of a game that we're going to play on Friday?
Well, you know, we've got a couple of different games. Some of them are kind of physical, which would be hard to do here.
Yeah. What about like the
like 101 bartender
Gibberish opera.
Or there's gibberish opera. There's also what's the
the Irish drinking song.
We're practicing that, but we don't really have that down. But do we want to try that? Or do we want to do the other one, the one where you get the name from the audience?
Oh, the do run.
Yeah.
That one might be a little easier.
Okay, we'll try that. Let's try that.
So we're gonna play this game, and we're gonna eliminate people. So we'll eliminate all of us. We don't have to leave the podcast.
No,
leave the game.
And full disclosure, I think, except for Miranda, none of us can really sing. So I just want to get it out there.
Yeah, thanks for getting that.
I think our audience will figure that out pretty quick.
Yeah.
That's like going into a restaurant and like being like, "Hey, have a seat." By the way, the chef, you know, he doesn't really know how to cook. He's just here doing stuff.
Yeah. That's exactly
you
how
probably
it's
go to a
But the
different
busboy,
restaurant.
phenomenal cook.
But that's what adds to the humor. It's not about being able to sing. It's about being able to just look good while you improvise.
Says
Being
the
able-
good singer.
Being able to sing.
Oh.
I like it.
And we probably don't want to sing too loud here, right? 'Cause
No, we
that's
have to
gonna-
be aware of the fact that we have microphones. So let's just, be professional.
Oh.
But
okay.
let's start.
Okay. Let's get a one name syllable or a one syllable name is what I really meant of somebody. How about John? No, you don't like John?
That's a little rough, isn't it?
John. How about Bill?
What about Jess?
Jess. Yeah.
do Jess.
All right, Jess. That's good. That'll eliminate some people pretty quick.
We'll start with Miranda.
Okay, here we go.
Go.
I once knew a girl and her name was Jess.
A do run, a do run.
I didn't know her well, I must confess.
A do run, a do run.
Ba-da-ba-da.
Yeah, playing chess.
Ba-da-ba-da.
Yeah, I'm a mess.
Ba-da-ba-da.
Yeah.
Little less.
A do run, a do run.
Eh.
Oh, we buzzed them out already. Oh.
Bill.
All
Now we got to
right.
do Bill as the name.
Yes.
All right, here we go. I once knew a guy and his name was Bill. A do run, a do run.
He choked swallowing a pill.
A do run, a do run.
Ba-da-ba-da.
Yeah.
Up the hill.
Ba-da-ba-da,
Yeah.
Power drill.
Ba-da-ba-da,
Yeah.
He's a spill.
A do run, 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 a do run, run.
Bill had a cold, he was a little chill.
A do run, 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 a do run, run. His best friend's a whale who only ate krill. A do run, 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 a do run, run. Ba-da-ba-da, yeah.
He knew Jill.
Ba-da-ba-da, yeah. Didn't kill.
Ba-da-ba-da, yeah. Such a thrill. A do run, 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 a do run, run.
I think I'm gonna throw myself out of this game.
A dude. Oh, that band.
Oh, it's down to me.
You know what? You guys are
Miranda.
too good. I think
Wow.
I think we should get a double.
Oh, yeah, yeah, good. I like that.
Okay.
Yeah. What about
Okay.
Lisa?
Oh, okay.
Let's do Lisa. Go ahead. We'll start with Miranda.
Okay.
Hit it.
I once knew a girl and her name was Lisa.
A do run, 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 a do run, run. Went to Italy, saw the Tower of Pisa.
A
Do run, 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 a do run, run. Ba-da-ba-da, yeah.
Ate some pizza.
Ba-da-ba-da, yeah. Signed a Lisa.
Ba-da-ba-da,
Yeah.
You took my one.
Oh,
You just lost.
So you actually were thinking Lisa.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
pretty good. That was
You
pretty
can't. Yeah. So, the rules are when you get the name, you can't repeat it. You're supposed to say words that make sense, but sometimes if you say it with confidence, you get by. Like I did today when I said Nike
good. Oh, that was
Oh,
good.
yes.
That was good. Yep.
Yeah.
or Nike.
We might see that game in our show, huh?
We might see that game in our show. So anyway, the show is Friday, March 7th. But it's really, depending on when this podcast comes out, it might come out in 2 weeks, and then
Yes.
it will have happened in the past.
But
Who
there's
knows?
another show coming up.
Oh, yes, there is. I wish I had the dates. I'll put them in the description.
In
It will
April?
be. Yeah, I believe it's in April, like the 23rd maybe or
Yeah,
something.
I
But
think it's
check
the
in
day
the,
after Earth Day.
Oh, it is?
I think
oh,
it's-
we'll have to sing about Earth Day or
Yeah.
do something with Earth
Definitely.
Day. That's
Born
a
for that
serious
moment.
holiday.
Yeah.
Awesome. Miranda, Bill, thank you for joining us
Thank
today.
you.
Thank you.
Steve, thank you.
Thank you, John.
John, thank you.
John,
thank
thank
you.
you.
Yeah,
You're
thank you.
welcome. You're welcome, John.
Good times.
Thank you. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you. Thank you. Good times. Good
Yep.
times.
Miranda, thank you.
Arigato.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Nice
gozaimasu.
camera work.
Gozaimasu. Anyway, thank you. That's the end of our podcast.
Come see our show.
I have already ended the podcast, so
Come see our show anyway.
I'm going to end the podcast.
Oh, it's not over.
Come see our show.
Can you tell us when it's over?
Goodbye.